Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we are going to do a movie review of Blue Beetle. So let's get this out of the way. If you have not seen the film, here's your spoiler warning. Please click off this video, please watch the film and come back. If you don't care for spoilers or if you've already seen the film, please continue to keep watching. With that being said, let's get into it. So Blue Beetle, what did I think of this film? I thought this film was amazing. It was so much better than I thought it would be. I was concerned for this film. I thought that it would be like really bad because DCEU, like, they don't consistently like put out good films. That's a fair criticism. And I was worried, and I'm still worried about this placement of this film, because we don't know if this is Zack Snyderverse, we don't know if this is James Gunn universe, is this going to be rebooted as well? I really want to see a sequel to this film because it's really good, but I'll talk about that later on in this review. But this film is really good, it's worth seeing. Got 77% on Rotten Tomatoes, and after looking at this film, like, I definitely agree. There's like a couple of things that I had issues with, but overall, like, this film is really good and I enjoyed it. So let me tell you what I liked about it. So the different parts I liked about it. One, I liked the family aspect. I liked how, even though Jaime Reyes, he's the main character, his family was going through hard financial times, but they were pulling together, willing to work whatever job they needed to in order to provide like food for their family and help support them. I could definitely relate with this film, especially with Jaime Reyes. You know, when he comes into this film, he just graduated from college. He's looking to get that job, that high-paying job, so he can not only provide for himself but help support his family. But he's a lot like us in the real world. Right after we got out of college, we didn't have that dream job that we've been training 4 to 5 years for. He had to do a customer service job, a service job. He basically had to do a job that he didn't go to school for and that he didn't want to do, but you know, he had to do what he had to do to provide for his family and stuff. So I can definitely relate to that. I can say that this film is super relatable in that aspect. Other parts that I liked, Ted Kord's daughter, she's very prominent in this film, and I like how she is a big part of it. At first, with her in the plot, it feels like contrived, but throughout the film, it starts to feel more natural, especially with her relationship with Jaime Reyes. Another thing I liked about this film was the Scarab. Jaime Reyes and his bond with the Scarab, just the learning curve he had to go through in order to learn how to use the Scarab and bond with it. First, he didn't have any control over the Scarab, and the Scarab was just doing things on autopilot. But then, like, Jaime and the Scarab learned to work together, and then they bonded with each other and they help each other. Like when the Scarab wanted to kill, Jaime had to remind the Scarab, hey, no killing. And then when Jaime wanted to go too far, the Scarab had to hold him back and say, hey, you're going too far, no killing. So I really like the relationship with Jaime and the Scarab, especially with him learning the Scarab's name. And I really liked all the weapons that the Blue Beetle can make. Reminds me of Green Lantern, and also reminds me of Mega Man. Also, Mega Man Battle Network, whenever turns his arm into a cannon. That part of it reminds me of that. Other parts I liked George Lopez in this film. I liked the action in this film, of course. I liked the relationship with Jaime and his father, and like the connection they had. So I really loved the beginning of this film. I really liked the ending of this film. The film's really good. The only issues I had were some parts of it in the middle. Some of it sometimes felt like it was dragging on. The plot sometimes felt a little contrived to me, especially in the beginning with how he got the scarab and stuff. It felt a little contrived, but like other than that, the film was like really good, like really solid. I enjoyed it. Like other than that, the rest was amazing, especially like the action when they're in the fortress and they're beating up all the cord industry soldiers. Now the villain in this film, there's two villains. You have the mastermind, the evil woman CEO who treats her employees like they're dispensable. I really liked her character. She was over like the top. Like you said, all she cared about was her bottom line, not even her own family, not even her own employees. Like they were all dispensable. Even the henchman who was working under her, he was dispensable. He was using the OMAC armor and he was doing like everything she said. But when the Blue Beetle was fighting him, the Blue Beetle got that henchman to realize that CEO lady, she didn't care about him. He was dispensable. He meant nothing to her. Another thing that I really liked about this film was we got to see the Latin American culture, and like I said, them being a family and sticking together. They talked about a little bit about immigration and that fear of possibly being deported if they're not careful. Also them like willing to do like any job to not just provide for themselves but provide for their family too. So I like those aspects of it as well. Now with the sequel, I really want to see a sequel to this film. It has very high potential to have a very good sequel, and you could take it like in any direction. You could have other DC characters come in like Batman and stuff, because Batman has a very strong connection with Blue Beetle. You could also not do that, and you could potentially have all those other scarabs that we saw in the beginning of the film. They can have their host and they can go to Jaime Reyes and his scarab. We can have a green beetle. We can have a black beetle like we had in Young Justice Season 2. We could possibly even have a red beetle. We could also even have the creators of the scarabs, the Reach, show up, and Jaime has to work with these other hosts of the scarab in order to defeat them. Like we can have an evil like person who has a scarab, like in Young Justice, the Black Beetle. He was the chosen warrior of the Reach and stuff, and they were using him. And I think he was also their race too. He was a Reach as well. So you can handle it in that aspect. So this movie has a very high potential to have a very good sequel. There's so many directions they could take it in, and like it can be really good like if they do it right. So overall, amazing film. So that's all we have for today. If you liked what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Also, let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this film? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me why and let me know your thoughts. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.